Hello and welcome. In this video, we're diving into how you can create a crossword game using Playzo. Crossword games are incredibly popular puzzles and have been utilized successfully across various use cases. For instance, if you have a blog, you can incorporate a fun crossword puzzle related to your blog's topic to boost engagement. More engagement time on your blog can translate to increased revenue. Crossword games are also a fantastic tool for educators and in corporate learning to teach topics in a really engaging way. Today's young audience expects education to be interactive and immersive since they're heavily accustomed to interactive content and games. So simply teaching a concept passively isn't as effective as making it interactive and enjoyable. Crossword games incorporate learning to teach certain concepts effectively. Let's explore how they function on Playzo. When you click on a cell in the crossword grid, it highlights the corresponding clue. Once you identify the clue, you can start typing and move on to the next word. This is essentially how it operates. Click, view the clue, and follow it to fill in the word. You have the option to use a timer or not. It's your choice. Now let's walk through how you can edit the game in Playzo. When you access the game, you'll land on the Game Screen tab. Everything is quite intuitive, and on the right-hand side, you will see all the elements you can change, including the game's background. The desktop background refers to the background visible on a desktop. You can choose to toggle it off if you prefer a plain black background instead. You can also adjust the screen's width on a desktop. If you wish to increase the width, you can do so, and the game will adapt accordingly, whether you prefer a portrait or more landscape orientation. You have full flexibility to modify the grid color. Currently, it's blue, but you can change it to any color you prefer. For example, you can switch it to yellow, and you'll see the change reflected in the interactive live preview. If you reduce the cell size, the entire crossword puzzle will shrink. This feature is especially useful when you're adding many words and need to ensure everything fits on the screen, particularly for mobile viewing. You can also adjust the font size of the words. The field here is quite self-explanatory. You can make changes and observe them in the live preview. This section is your clue dashboard. You can adjust the font size of the clues and turn the timer on or off for a more relaxed game. The clue background is also customizable. Next up are the crossword words. You simply add the word and its corresponding clue. To modify these, just enter the word in caps so it appears in capital letters in your final crossword and adjust the clue accordingly. Ensure your clues are short and concise. If they're too lengthy, the user experience can suffer as lengthy sentences are harder to incorporate. Keep things concise and you can delete or add more words. Once you add the words, the algorithm figures out how to create a proper crossword grid. If a word doesn't fit into the grid, it's likely because it doesn't overlap with other words, and thus may be skipped by the algorithm. If a word is skipped, you can either choose a different word or find a word that can overlap with others. The score text is visible at the top and adjustable. Currently, I'm not showing the score since in crosswords, you typically have 0 if you don't solve it in time and 1 if you do. Thus, there's little point in displaying the score, as it's just 0 or 1. That's how the game is set up. Moving on to the end screen, this is the post-game screen. For instance, if a user solves it, you might want to display, "Well done," to encourage them to return for the next puzzle. If they don't manage to solve it, you can prompt them with, "Please try again." These are some post-game screens I've configured. You can add more based on the score. Since I've written the texts like "Please try again" and "Well done," you can adjust the font of these hero texts. To alter these texts, just click on the icon and make your changes for each post-game end screen. You can choose to show a play again button or a call to action button, depending on the outcome. If a user successfully solves the puzzle, showing a play again button would be unnecessary, but a call to action button could redirect them to the next puzzle. Click to add a redirect URL and the button will appear. When you click on this, a call to action button is present. You can decide whether to hide or display it. Once shown, you can also change the button's image. Just upload an image and it will replace the existing one. It's pretty straightforward.